Welcome back to the Wolfcast podcast, everybody. I'm the Tru Alpha here with my talented, amazing sister May
Hi.
and my brother from another mother, Fang.
What's up?
Why'd you say
Because there we go. It was black
Oh.
screen on my
Oh no.
technical difficulties off the start.
Jesus
Gotta love
fucking
it.
Christ. Took 2-week break and you can't fucking figure this goddamn shit out.
It ain't my
Anyways,
fault. The shit fucking fucked up.
our baby is 1 year old. Can you imagine we all had sex together and we made a baby?
Yep, we do.
That's not what happened in the slightest. Regardless of whatever fan fiction may say, that is not what happened.
I guess you weren't there for that episode.
I wasn't there for that episode. Why did I miss the orgy?
But this is Wolfcast Year Review Part 2. Because the first video I put out was...
Doesn't count.
The first video counts. But it was just an amalgamation of all the thumbnails that I had did over the year. But the podcast is officially a year old. Yay!
They grow up so fast.
It does grow up so fast.
First they're spitting on you, and then they go off to school. And then they're assholes.
And then they're assholes. They talk back. Jerks. But I figure for this episode, since it's going to be a part 2, and the first episode was just all the thumbnails, that this episode we go and talk about past episodes.
we go.
What were some of our favorites? What ones we didn't like doing, or ones that we wouldn't mind doing again. I genuinely enjoy the first one because that was very first our baby. Just taking the first steps out. And...
Yeah, when we didn't know what to talk about, we didn't know how to talk.
Bro,
We're all just kind of fucking monotone and just yep, here we are.
If you if you go back and listen to the first one, whether it be us three or whoever's listening to these podcasts, you'll notice, minus like our technical difficulty on our end, because the first episode is very, very quiet, and I don't know if that's on our end.
I think
or
that was
if,
on
like,
our
it was
end because
editing or what, but like you could tell like we've gone so much further from that one because like everything's so much better, and May has just fucking blown her editing skills out of the fucking water.
I'm the editing skills.
I'm the editing skills. Shut up, you jerk.
But I mean, you can like look back to like where like if and I'm not saying this in a bad way because like this is not what I mean. I just don't know how else to say it. But it's like almost like we just threw the first one up there and said fuck it, and then now you have like all these like where you'll hear music in certain spots or those pictures you throw up because we're talking about something.
Or have gifts thrown in. Like the last episode I mean, we had did where it's like he said, smash that like button. It was like, and I actually have it timed where in the scene from The Emperor's New Groove, Crunk and her just hit hands at the same time that I went, so that was clever on my part.
On top of like just like I don't know, like it's crazy, like, and I know that's like with every like whether you're vlogging or doing videos or music, like if you went back and listened to, this is kind of off topic, like my first mixtapes, you're going to hear like this guy who's in the closet. Okay, first off.
The guy who's recording in the closet.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have a bit of a different example, almost kind of like a better one, kind of only because they're like big time famous. Everybody fucking knows who they are. Have you heard how Ed Sheeran's shit sounded in the very beginning? And I mean like stuff he didn't release. It's terrible. It's utterly terrible. Like his voice is high pitched and off key, off tone. All of it. His guitar is great, but everything else about him is.
You could even go back to like, and this is just because he popped in my head. Shawn Mendes, for the people who know who Shawn Mendes is, he started on Vine.
Yeah,
you could just see how like he was good because he was getting views, but then now like he's like at the professional level, But like what I was getting at with me, like you just hear this like scared, guy who's like trying to record music in the closet by himself. And it's almost like I'm talking to the point where like I don't want anyone else to hear around me. Versus like I feel like now if I got in there, I would just be like,
"What up, ye?"
But it's crazy how shit's evolved. That's where I was trying to get the full circle.
Well, it's funny also how we used to start it was hi, welcome to the Wolfcast. Like I like going back listening to it, like I didn't sound as high pitched as I did towards the ending part of when we switched over to you introducing the podcast. But it's just like, hello, welcome to the Wolfcast. And it's like, hello, welcome to the Wolfcast.
I like doing the intros because it makes me feel like I'm important.
You are important. You are an adorable, important being. Oh, shush it, Fang.
I agree.
No, it's been a really fun journey so far doing this with both of you guys, and it's great to see how well we can bounce off each other and give each other ideas, and how patient you guys are willing to work with me, the art and whatnot, and my skills.
Well, it's important to remember with that. This whole podcast idea, Alpha and I started it. We kind of just talked about bullshitting around, and then we hadn't originally planned on doing anything with this. We were going to get on, we were going to talk the bullshit, and then just upload the hard content, no editing, nothing going on.
I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I imagine and I've said this before on the podcast, if we wouldn't have added May to this podcast, it would be like a shit show. I'm being 100% honest, bro. I'm not trying to sound like a dick. You and I could probably hold a conversation, but the topics wouldn't be more advanced like we are. We wouldn't have anything going on in the background. No one would watch them. It would be fucking boring. Minus the combo.
About the only thing that I've never, it's not that I don't like it, it's that I don't necessarily agree with it, and it's why I kind of would throw a fit almost in past podcasts. The script reading, whenever May would do her research and then just read directly off of that. I know we never planned on doing that with the original idea, and I know why she does it. It makes sense, it's to get a clearer idea of what the hell we're talking about to show that we did our research.
Mm-hmm.
But for a while there, when you first started doing it, I would usually tune out. It would almost annoy me because I didn't think that was what some people wanted to hear. Why would they want to hear us reading something off of the internet? That isn't it. They want to hear us. They don't want to hear what they could just go and Google. To an extent, that is still true, but it is still good to show that we're not just bullshitting. We looked this up. We did the research.
I would say when it comes to the script reading, I didn't mind it. If it was certain things like when we were talking about our ideal dates, we don't need script reading for that. But stuff when we were talking about the LTBG community and stuff like that, facts like that I was 100% fine about.
Oh yeah.
Well, and it's not.
I just feel there's some topics that need that backstory for the younger generation who don't know the background and history of things.
Or if we just don't know that much information about it ourselves, that's where it's good.
Well, and it wasn't script reading. It was more or less just, fact checking and, here's some information that you might not know. Or for people that don't want to go off and Google it, here's what I found. Here's, this. It's giving more depth to the conversation. Actually, I like doing the research and stuff like that.
The reason why I call it script reading is because you are reading directly off of a page. You're not going off the top of your head.
Leave our podcast and join a podcast.
That's it. I quit. And just walks away.
She's like, all right, I'm going to do a new podcast in the rain. You guys can figure your shit out.
An all girls podcast with blackjack and hookers.
Please don't leave.
Don't go.
So what are we supposed to be talking about?
So basically, year in review. It's past videos that we've done, some that we've liked, some that we haven't liked. The videos that we really resonated or just enjoyed doing. I know probably one of Alpha's would be the music one because he was super hyped to do the music podcast. I really enjoyed doing the serial killer one because I love doing all that research.
Of course you did.
That was so much fun. Well, shut up. It's fun.
Typical suburban housewife watching serial killer documentaries.
Yes,
totally. I enjoyed the serial killer one because I've always had a fantasy. No, I'm just kidding. I've always liked when I first discovered Ted Bundy and all them, I really enjoyed their stories. And then that's one of my big things I've talked about on the podcast that I would have loved to sit in the same room and just heard him see what he said, picked his brain. And then I've also I enjoyed the tattoo one because of being into tattoos a lot recently. The mental health one is probably my favorite.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites
because of all of all of my issues this past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
The music one, as you mentioned.
I
I've had
really,
another one.
believe it or not, I really enjoyed doing the kink one and the Battle of the Sexes. That was pretty fun.
That's the one I was thinking of, the Battle of the Sexes. I couldn't remember the title though.
Yeah, that one was fun because it's been a joy so far to have the people that we have had in our podcast. You know, we've had Tyler, we've had Rain, we've had my mother and her boyfriend, husband thing. I don't know. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're married or if they're. I never asked.
We
But
need Kai.
yeah, we need to get Kai on here. You know, that's what we should do. We should do an international podcast after the next one. Basically, have everyone who's available like, hey, we're gonna do an international podcast. You know, have like Grizz and Kai and Doctor and all them, and just have them sit and talk with us and talk about different things that they do in their country and things like that. I think that'd be pretty fun.
And then we need to get Smeagol on one.
Yeah.
I don't know what he would be on, like what topic, because we already did the military one.
It could just be another just chilling one. We could just, talking with friends and sharing experiences.
I'd have to talk to him, figure something out.
Mhm.
I think it'd be fucking great to have
Just
him.
do like a friends cast.
I think another one that would be kind of interesting, not now, but like if he was older, to have your son on the podcast. Pick the mind of like a little kid.
It'd be talking mostly about Fortnite and Call of Duty. It's essentially is what it would be right
I love
now.
how responsive he was when you were like, you listened to Alpha and I when we tell you something, and then like, so I like mentally had that in the back of my head. I was like, Ryan, come here, and you just see him stop in his tracks, turn around, look for me, and then run up to me.
I think another one for me, like a lot of the podcasts where we get really in depth in things, really have to be my favorites. Like I really enjoyed the phobia ones and the childhood memories. Like the phobia ones and stuff. I enjoyed doing the thumbnail for that one because that so far has been my favorite thumbnail next to one of the relaxing ones where it's May's hand holding the phone. I think those two and the childhood ones have to be my absolute favorite thumbnails.
I like the what was I getting ready to say? Oh no, it's not what I like. What I don't like, I love all your art. Yeah, I've told you this even when I barely knew you, like when you showed me your art. I loved it. Even when I didn't understand it, like all the furry stuff and all that. I loved it. You know that. I hated the one thing about this is that I was always on the fucking floor and all the thumbnails, like May and Fang would be like on the couch or on the chair, whatever. I was always on the fucking floor.
It's only a couple that you were on like the floor. Like
No,
hang on.
fucking
'Cause
40
there was
fucking
well, because we have the first chilling and chatting. You were just kind of lower than me and him because you were kind of like looking up over the desk, like, what you doing? And then there was one, like the gaming one, you and Fang are sitting there standing. I'm the one sitting on the floor because you're both like player one, player two. I'm like, I want to play. Then I have
And then we gave you the controller that isn't plugged in.
right. Like I want to play, guys. Okay, yeah, sure, here you go. Like on the camping one, we were all sitting on the ground on the Talk Nerdy to Me. I enjoyed that episode. I'm sitting in the background getting abducted, trying to run away from Weeping Angels, and you two are just sitting there talking away. Or the one where I'm getting abducted by the aliens and you're still just sitting there talking away.
I'm trying to think if there's like a podcast that I really just didn't care for, like the topic. Because I know there's been times where like I was just down and out and I didn't say much. And it was because I was down and out. But I want to know if there's like a podcast where I was just like, no, I'm here. Because I just didn't care for the topic.
You usually say that for about a good portion of them. You're like, eh.
I've agreed with all of them. I think you got me fucked up with Fang.
Fang just doesn't like anything.
The ghost one, as long as we talk about.
Right. The ghost one was a good one.
The which one?
The ghost.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I liked that one. The ghost stories was great because I liked having it where Fang started it off telling a horror story. I really loved that one. And then the Halloween one where you have me reading a scary story. Like I thought that was really cool and fun. I liked that. As for a podcast I didn't like, I don't like them all. Like I enjoyed being in them and talking and getting things off my chest.
I'd have to say Because I'm going through these. I didn't care for the camping one just because I'm not a huge camper.
Mm.
Probably the book one because I haven't really read books since probably my early 20s. It's bad that I don't remember all these topics.
All right, you slept since then. It's fine to forget.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm old as fuck.
It's okay, Grandpa. We gotcha. What you say, Sonny Jim?
I'm tired of digging, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad. I enjoyed doing the thumbnail for the camping one. I was really proud of that one. Like, it turned out really, really good.
Fucking all the thumbnails come out really good. But yeah, I mean, like each time you draw one, you're just making yourself better. But I mean, you already know that.
Thank you.
Practice makes perfect.
It does, but I freaking hate it.
Oh, the adult entertainment one was fucking
That
great.
was fun. I enjoyed that. That thumbnail was fantastic. I loved doing that one. That one and the Kinks one was hilarious. I loved it. Then, like, the only thumbnail so far, I think, where it's like we're all full grown, has got to be Father's Day one.
That's weird. I was just looking at that one.
Because, you know, we're both all fully drawn. That's where we actually have our son featured in the background and his little trophy character.
Start him young.
Start him young. No. I actually still have thumbnails that still need to get finished.
There was a time where you like stopped doing them because there's a couple on there that don't have thumbnails made by you.
Yeah, because it was usually because I had waited till last minute, and I'm like,
because you said, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." 33%. That's all I get. Fuck this shit.
I want more than that.
Honestly, bro, we might be like 15% on all of us. She's 70% of the podcast. She talks, she edits, she draws. We're fucked, bro.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, she do the artist draw.
All right, Fang, what's your favorite podcast and what's your worst podcast?
I don't have a worst off the top of my head because I don't watch these.
I don't either.
Once we talk about them, I forget about them until the next day or until the next podcast. Then I'll remember about the podcast. I enjoyed doing the conspiracies and the technology one.
It's so crazy hearing you say that because, like, just knowing you throughout these whole years, you just always been tech savvy and all about conspiracies and shit like that.
Ones I probably didn't care for too much if I had to place them anywhere. I didn't care for Battle of the Sexes, personally.
Only thing I liked about it was more of a competition versus we had to stay on topic.
I think you just didn't like it.
No, I didn't like it because I didn't find it interesting. I didn't find that as an interesting thing to happen.
I think if we had better questions, it would have been.
I think if we had more than just doing the questions on it, because it wasn't a podcast, it was just a competition at that point, it might have been a little more appealing to me. Yeah, I can't remember all of them per se.
Because we had like the Christmas episode, pretty cool. We had the Easter, we had the Father's Day one. You know, we had the meeting people online, the VR. Pretty much, we've had a topic about almost everything. I really want to do like a medical podcast and talk about like medicine and how it's progressed through the years.
Better start writing these ideas down. Ideals down. Can't talk.
Talking's overrated. Just grunt. What's funny is I've had a conversation with like other mothers, and I'm terrified for teenage years because apparently all the teenagers that my friends have raised, like they go through this phase where all I do is just grunt. They're like,
I don't care. He can. If I ask Ryan a question, he grunts. I'm gonna sit there and I'm basically gonna hold him until he's like, "You're gonna give me an actual fucking answer. Speak fucking English."
Says the man who grunts his replies when he doesn't want to answer them.
Because nobody forced me to talk. They left me alone. They're like, "Oh, he's being a teenager." Bloody, bloody, bloody. Ryan starts doing that shit. Use your fucking big boy words. You're not fucking stupid.
Holy shit.
I'm not going to tolerate shit that was tolerated with me growing up or even with other people's kids growing up. Like, that grunting ain't going to do it. He starts getting disrespectful. He's going to get disrespectful with the back of my knuckles.
The back of my knuckles. We're not going to actually, like, beat our child.
I fucking might.
anything like you as a teenager. I mean, didn't work for you. It didn't work for you.
I didn't get beat as a teenager. I got shit taken away.
Yeah, true.
I didn't get beat as a teenager, but as a kid.
Yeah, as a kid it worked. But once I hit those teenage years and they realized that beating me with a belt didn't work anymore, they started taking my shit away. And then I knew all I had to do then was serve my time, and I got my shit back.
It's my time. Fucking boring.
The day Ryan thinks he's big shit and thinks he can come at me, I'm going to look at him and be like, good on you for that confidence. Keep that confidence, but sit the fuck down.
Sit the fuck.
I'm meaning this in a bad way, but I don't think we'll ever see that. Maybe when he gets close to like 17, 18.
I don't know. Most boys.
I don't want to think about him being 17 or 18.
Right?
Holy fuck, we'll be old.
Hey, that's only 9 years away.
Fuck you.
I'll be 36.
I don't want to think of my baby getting older. That means I'm going to get older.
Women don't age.
Age like fine wine.
Locked in a basement in total darkness.
I gotta say, for my age, I look pretty good. I have my bog troll days, but for the most part, I think I look pretty good. For being.
I thought it was kind of fucking funny that like when I first turned 18, I got ID'd a couple times, you know, like when I would buy cigarettes or whatever.
Mm.
And then there was this long period of like when I was like from like 20 to like this past year. This year that we're on. Didn't get ID'd unless I went into a bar. Because obviously, like, you know, you walk in the bar,
Mm-hmm.
But like going to buy like cigarettes or vapes or something, didn't get ID'd at all. I walked into this new gas station and I like fucking walked up, bought a vape, and they looked at me and I was like, "Can I see your ID?" And I was like, "Good thing I have it."
Good thing I have it.
I didn't know how to take it. Like, do I look do I still look young? I was like, what the fuck?
I think the beard makes you look a little bit older.
Then they shouldn't have fucking ID'd me.
I still like getting ID'd. I mean, it makes me feel good that I'm getting ID'd. Sometimes I pull out my ID when I don't have to because I know they're not going to card me, but I'm like, please make me feel young again. Make me feel like the spring chicken that I wish I was again. I really enjoy doing the Pride one because I hadn't done much research on the LGBTQIA plus and all that, so doing that episode really opened my eyes, and I really liked that one a lot.
That and the furries one, I feel like I learned a lot. Don't me.
Yeah,
I'll egg your fucking front porch.
I liked it when we did when the furries rule IT because that was really fun. That's when we were all downstairs here in the dining room doing it. And that was really fun, just having us sit here and talk. I really enjoyed that one.
I forgot that we were all there. Plus Tyler.
Yeah, because Tyler was visiting.
That one was nice because like it obviously it wouldn't like if we had a camera facing us and like that was the video, it would look really weird. But like it just like it felt like we were all like, well, obviously we were all there. I don't know where the fuck I'm saying or going with this, but it just felt like we were in a studio actually like doing it.
Yeah.
Like minus all of us having mics and, you know, camera facing us and all that. But it was cool to like be all there.
I always like doing podcasts when we have the actual person here that we can talk to and you know, interact. Like I really enjoy that. Like I wish the three of us could be in the same room together.
I mean, if we did them on like a Saturday, I could come up.
Yeah.
But I can't come up on Sundays.
I mean, you can.
Yeah.
Nah.
You literally just use the time you're using now.
Essentially.
But gas.
Yeah, gas is still ridiculous. I mean, it's gone down. It's not as expensive as it was, but it's still. Ooh, gas prices is killer, man.
Yeah, because it really scared me when I was getting gas one day, and he said, "That's a hefty tank of gas right there," because I think it was like $50. And then he's like, and you think that's bad? It's gonna be $8 by the end of August. And I was like, there ain't no fucking way. And thank God. I mean, well, I don't think it will be. I mean, it's gone down like $1.50. It was damn near $6.
I've seen multiple things on why people think gas prices are going up, and you see the typical thing, oh, it's the president's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And my only answer to that is every single time there is a new president, Democratic or Republic,
it's always their fault for whatever's happening at that time.
No, the gas prices always go up.
Mm.
Every single time there's been an election since I left high school. I don't know about prior to high school because I didn't care. But, once I left high school, I was driving my car. I was getting my own gas. When Obama got reelected, gas prices went up. When Trump got elected, gas prices went up. Like, it always happens when the new president comes out. Mm-hmm. So it's not new. Was this the worst? Was this the highest it has ever gone up? Yes.
Well, I think that also has to do with, the whole Russia-Ukraine thing is also what caused it to go, because we did get a good portion of our oil from Russia.
Which kind of fucked up the American government in that sense, because we thought we were getting most of our oil and shit from Iraq. The whole reason we were fucking over there for the years that we were over there.
That was just a penis measuring contest.
So it was, there was that. But another thing that I saw with gas prices is they are purposefully raising them up to force everybody to go electric.
Yep, I seen that one.
And, people are getting mad at that and all this other shit, which is, it is scummy. Because you're forcing people to buy new cars. And I saw a thing somebody had posted on Facebook. They were talking about, so what happens if we're all in electric cars, including, first responders and all this other shit, and a bad winter hits and the batteries die, or, all this other shit happens and the batteries die, and then first responders can't get out, and then you're stranded on a highway in 100-degree heat, but the air conditioning can't work because the batteries die. There's a simple fix for that. There are two really simple fixes for that. That whether or not the car companies are willing to do, I don't know. The one that I think of that would be most reasonable is, so most electric cars now, they plug in. They have a plug-in where your gas tank would be, and you plug them in. That's how they charge. Solar panels. You could turn the entire back window into a solar panel and still be able to see through it. So then, okay, I'm going on a long drive. I know when I'm gonna, I know how far I'm gonna be going. As a just in case traffic starts getting bad, turn on the solar panel.
No, because it's going to turn to the same argument it is with wind. Like, we can't use wind turbines because it's a finite resource.
You know who starts those? Gas companies.
Yeah, because it's like the sun. Yes, the sun itself is a finite resource, but that's not for billions of years. Like, so we're going to have the sun for a good long while.
Yeah, it's not like me absorbing sun rays into my solar powered remote is taking power from the sun.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
It is absorbing the power that the sun is already emitting on its own. I'm not forcing the sun to emit more energy.
Yeah, it's like,
as cool as it would be to have, an electric car, Tesla, or whatever, I don't want to pay the fucking price for that.
They're cheaper than gas cars.
Nah.
No, they are. And now, don't get me wrong, they're still expensive. But a Tesla is about $20,000 cheaper than a brand new car.
Well, yeah, but there's also the fact of, I heard, like, if a battery goes bad in a Tesla, it's like a shit ton more money versus like a normal battery. Like, for a car.
The counter argument to that would, because it's going to be expensive, you're replacing an essential component to a car. If your engine goes bad in your car, what do they tell you? You're better off buying a new car because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
So either way, you either have a car where you have to either buy a new car or replace the entire engine, or you buy an electric car where you either buy a new car or replace the entire battery. It's pick your poison at that point.
Yeah.
Also the fact of like, and yes, I know like a lot of people are gonna, and I'm just gonna say it before everybody else says it or you say it because I know you'll say it.
What's up?
Is that like, it would suck to have to like, oh shit, the battery's getting low. Now I have to pull over and charge. Versus, you're low on gas. You got to pull over and get gas. I just feel like the battery would die a lot quicker versus getting gas.
That depends on the type of batteries they put into the car. Because there are long-lasting batteries, from what I've seen, because people post that they have Teslas and shit on YouTube and Facebook, all that fun shit. Theoretically, if I took the highway, I could drive in a Tesla on one charge all the way down to Kentucky and back on a brand new battery. The problem with batteries is they deteriorate over time, and engines do too, but I think batteries are faster based off of usage. But the pulling over and charging part of it would be where the solar panel in the back comes in. Or, and this is where it would get really expensive for taxpayers, if they force us to go all electric, they change the roads to charging roads, wireless charging roads.
Yeah, it'd be too much money.
Don't tell me we can't do that outside of money, because we do it with our phones. We have the tech to do it. You just got to throw it into a car and throw it into the roads, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. The problem with that is that would involve ripping up every single road that is paved and replacing it with the roads that can charge. That's where it would get expensive. That's where taxpayers would get hit. That's why I suggest the solar panels, because the back windshield, you would essentially just take those black lines that are already on there, which are your defrosters in the back window, essentially is what those are, and you would replace those with solar absorbing lines that would hook.
Know that.
It's where the heat gets emitted from your defrosters. That's why if you're in the winter, if it's in the winter and you turn your rear defrost on and you watch how the ice melts, it'll melt out from around those black lines, not from like the bottom up like the front windshield does. It'll melt outward from those lines.
Damn.
But you just turn those into solar absorbing lines that hook up directly to the battery, and essentially your car is always charging. Which is bad for the battery, but we could probably figure something out for that.
How did we get on this topic?
So, hang on, change the subject real quick, because I got interested, and because you said Bob's your uncle, right? I was sitting here wondering, like, where did that term ever come from? Because I was sitting here going, I've always said Bob's your uncle and blah, 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 and I've heard it. Apparently, in 1887, a British Prime Minister, Robert Gascoigne Cecil, appointed his nephew, Arthur James Balfour, as Minister for Ireland. The phrase Bob's your uncle was coined when Arthur referred to the Prime Minister as Uncle Bob. And so it is a phrase commonly used in the United Kingdom and Commonwealth countries that means, and there it is. And there you have it, or it's done. So I got real curious as to, I always say it's Bob's your uncle, but yeah. So
never heard any of you say Bob's your uncle.
He just literally said it.
I just said it.
No, until today, like till just then.
That just reminded me of one of my favorite moments from the podcast. Were you not listening 10 minutes ago, motherfucker?
Angry Fang noises. That was so funny.
You said that to her first, and then like the next week, I think I did that just to fucking troll.
No, because he was talking about assuming, and you're like, "Well, how dare you assume?" He's like, "Did you not just hear what I said?"
So it was the same podcast, but like he had said something to you, like, weren't you just like he said something calmly to you, and then I was like, all right, and then I was like, well, that's on you for assuming, and like, I was trolling on my part. But that's another thing that reminds me of one of my favorite things in this podcast is fucking when Fang gets on his rant.
Oh my god, yes. I love his rant.
Relax. I'm like, I recline my chair, put my feet up on my desk. I'm like, all right.
I feel like
10 minutes.
I feel like if we were to have, say we had, I don't know his name. I find him interesting to listen to, even though he and I would have differing views on things. He's an intellectual person. I believe he's a doctor. He studied something, psychology probably, or whatever. But he's been labeled really cynical. And I would love to have him on here. Just because I wouldn't, and I don't mean this in a bad way, if he and I started talking, you two wouldn't exist.
I'm sure I would get a word in edgewise.
You would get a word in edgewise, but the thing about him, from what I can understand, is because he does interviews. He does, all this different shit. He goes on different talk shows and whatnot. And whenever somebody interrupts him, he starts interrupting them back. And he will continue to do that, basically repeating himself until until the person's done talking, done interrupting him, basically saying, can I talk? Can you not interrupt me? Can you quit being rude? We're talking about what you claim to be an issue. I'm trying to express my thoughts on it, and you're shutting me up.
Like that scene from what was it? South Park. Like, please, can I finish? Please, can I finish? Okay, I'm finished.
I think that if that happened, I would probably shut down and just sit back on that podcast, be like, "Fuck this."
Well, and the thing is, I go on my rants because I hear everything. It's like I tell people at work. I have eyes everywhere, and my ears hear everything.
You go around his work and you just see little the googly eyes just plastered all around the building.
But on that, I don't talk. I don't share my opinion. Mainly because I don't want to deal with it. I don't like drama. I don't like dealing with the drama, and I know how it's going to play out. Oftentimes, I've already thought about how the conversation will play out before it even fucking happens. Pulled that card on May a couple nights ago.
Oh, what were we talking about?
I don't remember what we were talking about. We were watching a TV show after dinner downstairs, and you had said something, and I had said something, and then I think I had finished your sentence, and you were like, yeah, and then I looked at you and went, I already had this conversation like 4 times in my head 2 days ago. Paranoid brain, we think about conversations that could potentially happen and how we're going to talk about them.
It's true.
But
mainly in the shower.
Yeah, mainly in the shower.
Or mine's when I'm cooking. I'm sitting here having arguments in my head about how a conversation should have gone.
Yeah, I said, I should have said that. That would have been good.
There are times when
like the shower is like where I replay back moments all the time where I'm like, I should have said that, or fuck, that would have been a good comeback, or God.
There are times.
The rants.
There are times when Fang and I will have an argument, not like a bad argument, but just like we'll have a little. Shut up. But we'll have a little little grumpy back and forth, and I'll be down here and I'll be having a conversation in my head, and I'll get myself riled back up, and I want to run back upstairs and go, and you know what else? Because I've already made myself madder being downstairs.
Can I finish now?
Yes, you can finish now. I'm sorry.
Okay, but my point to that being is, like, at work and out in public, I don't speak. I don't tell my opinions. Because I know it'll cause drama, I know it'll cause problems, and I just don't want to deal with it. So out here on the podcast,
you do tell your opinions if it's something that you're interested in, like if it's Magic or League of Legends, you will go and talk.
Yes, but for the most part, what I hear out at work and at all this, in public and whatnot, I don't voice my opinion, especially to strangers, because I don't want to cause the argument.
There is one thing that I learned. If there is one thing I've learned about Fang and the fuck ton of years I've known him, is
15
that
now. 15, by the way.
If he is passionate about something, or like he just knows he's right 100%, and even if he is wrong, like I have the facts and he still thinks he's right, he's right. He will argue it. He will
argue until you prove me wrong. I will argue until you absolutely, without a doubt, prove me wrong.
No, like I have the physical proof, and he's like, nope. Nope, I'm right.
It's because he's blonde. That's why.
In past arguments that you and I have had, usually, and you'd be like, "No, bro, I've looked it up. No, bro, I've done this." It's cool that you've done that. Show me. Look it up in front of me.
I have never actually fought, and like not been friends, or stopped talking because we.
There was a couple days where we just didn't talk to each other while I was living with you. We kind of just. We didn't play games together for a couple of days, and I didn't come out of my room hardly anyway. But even like when going to work, we wouldn't talk to each other at work. And it was only like maybe a day, maybe 2.
And then did we argue about?
We had gotten heated over something. I couldn't even tell you.
I know there was at one point in time that I had a girlfriend at the time. We had broken up.
Oh, yeah.
Where for the did I tell you this?
I might be thinking of something else. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I just feel like that I had like this funny feeling that you were like talking to her behind my back now that you knew that we were broken up, and I was just heated. But I don't feel like I ever said anything.
No, you did, because I had said something rather flirtatious to her, because I think you guys had broken up, and because back then when I lived with you, if you had a girlfriend, I became friends with them through you, at least to some extent. You know, I talked to them, shit like that. But I think you had told me.
Put up with May.
But I think what had happened in that situation is you and her had broken up, and I had already talked to you about it. You and I had already talked because you came to me almost immediately afterward. And so I had messaged her to make sure she was okay because, like I said, I'd become friends with her through you. And then as that conversation had gone, I had gotten into my rather flirty self. And I think from there, she told you that I was being rather flirty with her, and you got mad at me for that. I remember that. Because I remember apologizing to you for that.
Fuck it. A friend who cares is a friend who shares. Imagine you go, no.
I sipped my drink and stared at Discord.
And I just giggled in the kitchen.
Did you not hear what I said just a second ago?
No, we heard you.
We heard.
No, her.
You had said something about May, but I couldn't respond because I was in the kitchen. What did you say?
No, she wasn't listening at all.
He said, in some form, shape of way, I became friends with your girlfriends or ex-girlfriends or whatever through you. And I was like, the only reason why I'm friends with May.
Oh.
And then at the end of the conversation, you said, a friend who cares shares.
I heard that part. I have my headset on. I can hear when you guys talk.
It only counts until you're married. So May's off the table.
Okay.
Well.
Here's one to fuck with you guys. The word homeowner has the word meow in it. Good luck pronouncing it correctly ever again.
Homeowner.
You're welcome.
I think
Homeowner.
Homeowner.
Mr. Meow Meow Meow.
Mr. Meow 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 is a legend. He will never die. I will be in a fucking home. Alpha and I will be in a home. Like, hey man, Mr. Meow Meow Meow.
I love how the most stressful moment in that entire movie was just watching him float off. You're like, no! That was the most stressful moment.
The Lightyear movie. Yeah. You're like, oh no, please! I don't even care about the person. Don't let the cat die.
Not the cat.
I just watched that recently, but I don't know. I honestly think that at the end of the day, and I don't mean this in a bad way,
Nate.
I just feel like even like if like May's not around or whatever, you and I are gonna either be in the same home, same bedroom, or we're gonna have a house together growing old. Like, bro, remember Meow, Mr. Meow Meow Meow? Huh? Oh, Meow Meow Meow. Yeah, that guy's a legend.
Here's me in
I
a
love
room.
this
Will you
Facebook
two shut
post.
up about Mr. Meow Meow Meow?
I love this Facebook post right now. An enormous and strange fish shocked everyone in the coast of Africa, Chile. It was over 20 feet long, and it didn't look like any species in the area. You want to know what it fucking is?
Whale?
No, it's one of the rarest species of fish in the world. More people have been to the moon than have seen this fish alive. The oarfish.
Oh yeah, the oarfish.
It's like, okay, Facebook, that isn't a strange and mysterious creature. We know what it is.
It just lives in the bottom of the ocean.
No, it doesn't even live in the bottom.
It does. It lives towards Muradana.
No, it doesn't. That's like yes, because Jeremy Wade found 2 of them next to a buoy.
But he was still He was still pretty deep down though.
Not Mariana's Trench deep. A person can't
Not
survive that
deep,
depth.
But they're more known to be down in the deepest part of the ocean. They do come up.
It's entirely possible that, during the day they're, bottom of the ocean type deal, and then at night they come up.
Mm-hmm.
That's entirely possible. But
come out at night.
I need you to do me a favor though.
What's up?
I need you to track down Mr. Meow 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 and have him on the podcast.
I could.
Could you fucking imagine? He's like, you're just like, you message him, hey bro, you're not gonna know me, but I played against you in Destiny a long time ago, and this was like 7 years ago. But I really don't go a day without thinking about you, and I'd love to have you on my podcast.
That would be a thing. I'd have to figure out what he's playing. He might be playing Destiny 2. He might not even game anymore. Like, how do I only have his Xbox 360 gamer tag? I wonder if he's still on my friends list.
I never added him. I just remember talking about him.
Because we joined up with a party with him. We played games with him.
I don't think I did.
Yeah, we did in Destiny. He teamed up with us in the Destiny multiplayer when we were grinding it hardcore and wanted the Wulf stuff.
Huh? Insert that Soldier Boy fucking meme.
Speaking of Wulf stuff, something Lady, who people have heard me call Kitten because that's just habit for me.
Also, Rain on our podcast.
Rain on our podcast. That is who I'm speaking about. What?
Huh?
No, your audio quite literally shit itself. What'd you say?
She wants your Wulf stuff.
Well, yes, but that's not what I'm talking about. So,
carry on.
In the WWE 2K game that Alpha and I both have, I created my own character, and his title is supposed to be Wolfman. But for some reason, the announcers, whenever they're announcing me, whenever they announce me as the winner, they'll go, and here's your winner, Wolfman. Like they almost say it as like WOOF, not WOLF. So they say it as Wolfman. It's like that's not the name.
Insert Spider-Man meme. That's not me.
That's not me.
The human spider.
But it makes Kitten crack up every time.
I do want to I want to go through all three of us because we have about 10 minutes left. I want to know, since it's a new
what
year,
love is.
Fuck that. Never gonna figure that out.
What love got
like what is your like goals or wishes and wants for this year?
I would like maybe not to hit partner on Twitch.
No, not Twitch. I meant the podcast. You fuck.
Well, you didn't specify. I'd like to see this get put onto a platform such as Spotify or even like iHeartRadio. I would love to see this go more than just YouTube. I'd like to get some more, like, I love having the guests we have. It's always interesting to get other opinions. I would like to get, like, if we got like Jeremy Wade on the podcast, Aaron Mankey would be a good one. He does his own podcast. I'd love to get a number of big people on here just to talk and pick their brain and, you know, figure out why they started what they started.
May.
I think I feel about the same way. I'd like to see our podcast get out there. I know for Spotify, I think it costs money to get it on Spotify, and there's something that you have to do to get it on, weird like SSR code or RRS code.
I know you also, if you do Spotify, you have to upload weekly.
Mhm.
You enter an upload schedule when you do Spotify. You have to post. You have to put content out there to maintain your spot.
And I think it's also, I think you can't cuss that much on Spotify as well.
Tell that to the Goons and the Misfits podcast because they cuss all the fucking time.
Then that would be cool. But no, I agree with Fang. I'd like to get out there past, YouTube. I'd like to have more higher named guests on the podcast, and I'd like for us to join other people's podcasts and promote ourselves on there and reach a wider audience, because I want to help change people's mind about furries and stuff like that as well, because I know most people see furries and like, oh god, these blah blah blah. Like I really want to change.
Cringe.
Yeah, I really want to change the mind that furries aren't like what they've seen or heard. We're not bad people.
Are we weird? Abso-fucking-lutely. But name one fan group that isn't fucking weird. Oh, you would fuck that person's persona. You'd fuck Miss Marvel. Shut up.
Right? Or Captain O'Hara, rest in peace.
First off, I wouldn't fuck Miss Marvel. She's a child. Captain Marvel, I would fuck.
Oh yeah, Captain Marvel. I completely forgot.
Yeah, I mean, because you like every fan base. Look at your Trekkies, your Star Wars, like people who have hard-ons for Twi'leks. Like, I mean,
my favorite response of all time is like, why do you watch this kind of? This goes off of porn, just because that's the example. But it's like people who make fun of people who watch hentai. Or like furry porn. Like, why do you watch that? It's not like you're ever gonna, get to fuck any of that. like, why do you watch porn? It's not like you're gonna go fucking bone insert famous porn star here.
Right, and Jenna Jameson.
Yeah, like
or Riley Reid. or
Millie Willis.
Belle Delphine. You know, it's not like you're ever
Belle Delphine can fucking get it.
Drink my gamer water.
It's not don't drink the bathwater.
That's a little weird. Anyways.
She sold her bathwater.
I know what she did.
Actually, what she did is she only sold about 2 or 3 of her actual bathwater. Everything else was just regular tap water.
Yeah.
There was no human interference with it. She made fucking bank off of that too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go and probably say a lot, but what I want is at least to hit 100 subscribers this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like for like the whole next year. Long time goal. I would like to have more. I want to get out there, like you guys said. I want to be on other people's podcasts. I want other people to join our podcast, whether they're actually big time YouTubers or music artists or actors. Like eventually get to that point. Like I know we're a long way from there, but I mean like anything could happen. Like I could fucking tweet Adam Sandler. That's just the first person who popped in my head. I could tweet him every day and he might just be like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? But I would like to get to that point. I would also love to see that even if we don't make it like 1 million subscribers, I'd love to see that 100K plaque just to be able to hold it.
Right.
I think those are like the 3 things. We're not going to get 100K in a year unless something like we get someone famous on here and it just blows up. But overall, I would love to see just to be able to hold a YouTube play button and be like, that's partially mine.
Right.
Like I finally have a play button that I get to share with you guys.
Mm-hmm. And that would be something, you know. And I know people see it as, you know, it's, you know, why keep doing it if you haven't hit this, or why keep doing it if you're not seeing it. It's not.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
It was not. And like,
but it sure as hell got blown up in one.
It did, didn't it? No, it's like any of those YouTubers out there that they all started somewhere. They started at the bottom and they worked their way up. You know, I understand that success isn't going to come overnight. It's going to be a long, hard road that's, you know, shut up. That's going to take a few miles to get us where we need to be. And I'm willing to take that journey to see this dream and this, you know, gift brought to a wider audience. So,
you know what? At the end of the day, when everybody else is giving up on their podcast, Wolfcast will still be here.
Yep.
Most YouTubers will tell you, you know, hey, I did this shit for 2-3 years on and off, and I didn't get anywhere, but I kept going. And, you know, by year 5, you know, hey, now I'm getting noticed. I'm at the 100,000s. You know, years 8, 9, now I'm in the millions. You know, I just people like that I watch, like that's what I've heard. And then like you got to also think that like, yes, a lot of YouTubers out there, and I'm not trying to say we're like other podcasts and other YouTubers, but like just for like an example, you know, a lot of people go through a rough patch and don't like, you know, gain success until they meet somebody else. So like just hypothetically speaking, you know, and it would check off something on all of our boxes, you know, maybe one of these other podcasts one day want to like, you know, team up with a little podcast or something. They're like, you know what, let's pick their brains. And then we get a message on Twitter or something stupid. You know, you do have to know people and to get out there somewhat. But at the end of the day, you can't give up, you know, just because we've been stuck at 50 something subscribers for the past 2 months. You can't just be like, you know what, we're not going anywhere.
One of the things I remember from the podcasts I listen to, as well as the YouTubers I watch, you can't look at your numbers.
That too.
You know, to look at your viewership, even as a rule of thumb with streaming, and I was guilty of this when I first started streaming. It's part of the thing that, you know, disheartened me on streaming. Is I would look over at my screen and be like, nobody's here. Why am I even bothering? And it's almost like the second I stopped doing that, that's when people started talking in my chat.
This is my thing about... Go ahead, sorry.
But like, you can't... We've been sitting at, like you said, 50-something for a while. I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
Like,
I was just making an example, like as in like, you know, like people are that
yeah,
like that was
I'm
my
running off
thought is
your
people
example.
people are like, oh, you're at 50 subscribers, you've been there for 2 months, you're not going anywhere. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit if
I
I'm at
made 50 subscribers in 2 months. Fuck you.
I don't care if I'm at 50 subscribers for the next year. I'm still gonna get on every Sunday we have a podcast, and I'm going to talk about the topic, or if it's just a chilling or just venting, whatever, I'm gonna do it. I see these podcasts as a therapy session almost sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I get to talk to you guys. So like I said, whether we're at 100 subscribers, 2K, a million, whatever, I'm still going to do the podcast as long as you guys want to do the podcast. The same with streaming. I don't care that I'm at whatever I'm at. I don't even know what I'm at streaming wise. If I'm playing a video game, I'm still going to stream unless I just really don't want to stream that day. I'm going to throw up the stream. If people want to join in and chat and talk, awesome. If they don't, I'm still gaming. Just like with if we ever get the music shit going. I don't care if I put out a whole album or we put out a whole album and, you know, May listens to it, Smeagol, Scoop Steve, my dad, your parents, whoever, people at our works or whatever, or your guys' community. Like, if it only 15 people listen to it, I don't care. I got my feelings out. I got my music out. I'm gonna do it.
Yep.
Do what you want to do, what you want to be, and keep pushing forward. Fuck if anyone has anything to say about it. I'm ranting, ain't I?
Yes, you are. You're pulling a me.
Just keep doing what you want to do.
Yep. Here's something you might find rather interesting right here at the tail end, Alpha.
I like tail ends.
So there is a 9-point pot. What is the grading for Pokemon cards?
PSA 10.
Yeah, PSA. It is a 9.5 PSA holographic Charizard from the Pokemon Go set. You want to know how much this place is selling it for?
How much?
$14.
Nice.
Just means the card isn't that valuable. If you get a PSA 9.5, but it's only worth $14 at that grade.
I don't think the Charizard is the highest card in that set.
No, I want to say it's one of the Mewtwo's.
It is. It's the Mewtwo where like the buildings are in between them and he's like up in the air. That's the best card in that set. But I've only ever went through. I bought the ones that I did on stream that one day, and then I bought another 2 10s, and then I bought a box set. So I've only opened them up 3 different times.
Once I have the money, I do want to buy cards again.
That'll have to wait though.
Yep, it'll have to do wait.
But on that note,
yeah.
Before we get too far in the ranting, remember at 100 subscribers that I will be doing Alpha's makeup, and then at 200 we'll be doing Fang's, and at 300 they will be doing my makeup. So go ahead and get the word out there to follow the #1 podcast in your heart, and let us touch the hearts of all those out there. So go ahead and get us out there, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, and also hit that little notification bell so you know when I post on Mondays. Go ahead and visit our Patreon. No donation's too small. It helps us bring you better podcasts, and you get to be part of polls. You get to choose episodes. There's one-on-one meetings with us. You can be in a podcast. You get to see behind the scenes content, get art lessons, and so much more. So check that out for us. Head over to our stream and get some merch. Use Wolfcast20. It's good till the end of this year, I believe, to get 20% off your orders. I believe next year it will be going down to Wolfcast 10%. So get your 20% that you can right now. So
if you want merch,
go to the description box below. Yes.
Don't buy Notice Me Sent by Fang.
I want to see. I just want to be walking down the road and be like, oh my God.
That's us.
That's us. And they're not going to know it's us because we're behind these personas, but that's me.
That's me. Head to our affiliate Dubby. It was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. It's got vitamins, amino acids, neurotropics, including Neurofactor. It is produced in the USA in an FDA registered and inspected facility that adheres to the GMP guidelines. So they are really, really good, and they are an amazing company to go through. Use Wolfcast 10 to get 10% off of your orders. Follow us on all of our social media. You've got Fang at Twitter at Fang09251. You've got his Twitch at Fang0925. You've got Alpha on Twitter at Holden Stevenson. His Twitch at _Tru_Alpha. True is spelled TRU. And you got me everywhere else. I'm pretty out there publicly. So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. Got TV and art for Affinity Weasel and TikTok. So go ahead and check us out. And
follow my Instagram if you want to see snippets of songs that I'm writing for Fang and I, because I'm contributing to this band and he's not.
And
bitch!
His Instagram's the same as his Twitter, so you'll find him at Holden Stevenson on Instagram.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thank you so much for the great year that has come. It's been an amazing journey, and I've had so much fun researching and drawing and learning new things in this past year. And
here's 50 more.
Here's 50 more. It's even been more fun having to do it with my brother and my husband. So thank you guys for still sticking it out. It's been fun.
Are you crying?
No, I'm not crying. But let us continue to be the #1 podcast in your heart, because we want to touch your lives and we want to make your day, at least, an hour of your day better. So we love you guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.